Beauties, I want to have a conversation today about being too much, or the fear of being too much, and then being scared because we're not fully self-expressed and feeling like we're unheard, feeling like we're not seen, but also fearing being seen. It's like this juicy conundrum. I want to walk you through the story of how I overcame this, how I help my clients overcome this, and really step into this like magnetic, vibrant, sexual little being, sensual, sexual, vibrant, all the things, and how you can utilize this, how you can walk with it. And really this is a piggyback off of what we're doing inside of The Artist, which is our new free masterclass, which is happening next week, June 8th and 9th. So all you have to do to get in there is hit me up, text me, I'm in, message me, what have you, on this little app, and I will send you the link to register for free. If you choose to upgrade to bonus modules and laser coaching, that currently right now is $55. And that'll be going up to $111. So you can upgrade to that. I will be talking about that throughout this, but this is going to be an extension of what we're talking about there. It's becoming the artist of your life, really, dismantling our trauma responses, dismantling what we've been stuck inside of, and entering this like joyous flow of abundance and authenticity and joy, and like radiating joy. That's really what I want women to feel, just like they belong, like they're sure of themselves, to dress in certain ways, to act in certain ways, to speak in certain ways, especially as entrepreneurs, coaches, and creators. Like, our voices are what activate other people, and that is our creation. Like, our life force is this artistic work, and I want you to have that. So we're going to be doing that next week. And it's going to be 2 days. It's free. If you want to upgrade, like I said, it's $55. So what I want to talk about today, hi, my name is Laura Patricia Martin. I'm a trauma specialist. I am your internet BFF, where we talk all things, literally all things that happen because of trauma, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's relationships, like the little hiccups that we have. And we try to neutralize it because I've been through literally fucking everything and dismantle it, put my life together, and I'm here to tell the story about how I did that, and more of that to come. But if you're anything like me, being too much was a thing that came from trauma, right? Like the fear of being too much. I'm definitely a too much person, and I love that about me. I love that. And tell me if you can relate to this. You were a kid that had high emotions. You were someone that was like, we can't handle, like your parents were like, we can't handle your emotions right now, or go to your room, or go to time out, or what have you. Just like, get out of my face because your emotions are too much, or, you're too lovey, like that's too much emotion, or, you're too sad. That's too much, like a phrase my parents always said, like honey over vinegar, like you're too much vinegar. Because I was so angry because I couldn't be expressed. I was so unseen. I was so like, my feelings weren't validated, and so I stopped expressing them. I shut them down, and I got to a point in my life where like I felt this fire wanting to come alive. Like, it's so hot up here, y'all, so don't mind my upper lip sweat. Sexy here in Dallas, I know. It would just like, I started to dim it down, and like I had the fire inside of me of, I want to be expressed. I want to activate this side of myself, and that's how I got into hard drugs, right? Like, it gave me this false sense of self. It numbed me enough to feel like I was alive. So I would, it started with excessive drinking because I got this like false confidence that we get, and like loosened up a bit, and then, turned a little bit more heavy and went that whole route because it claimed this false sense of identity, and it got really deep and dark for me. Got into heavy drugs, got into domestic violence, got into, addictions of varying degrees, addicted to exercise, addicted to food, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol. Like, there was so many different pillars of addiction because it gave me this false high. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe it's not to the degree that I walked, but at some point in your life, it was like, I don't think I can be the bold person that I want to be on my own, so I'm going to use something outside of myself, right? Whether it is extracurricular activities like school or sports or something, like I started there, and then, or it could have moved to the other route, being the rebellion or the good girl is the archetypes that we kind of bounce between in our early years. And so what I found was, as I started to form a new identity, right, become the artist of my life, I had hit age 24, and I knew if I kept going at the rate that I was going, that I wouldn't survive very long. Like, I have notes in my phone from like, I think 2011, where I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it till 25. How freaky is that? And I got to the point at 24 where I realized like, I'm not self-expressed. I'm not feeling like this is me, and I think the world would be better off without me, and what have you. And I realized that that was my brain playing a trick on me. It wasn't that I didn't want to be here. It was that I just didn't want to be in the way that I was, right? I didn't want to keep doing the life in the way that I was. And when I first started out on this journey and started to take up space and to explore, like, who am I, regulating my nervous system, getting healthy, really becoming the artist, picking my relationships, getting the help I needed to get off the drugs, and doing the 12 steps and doing the things I needed to do, to really look and honor being like, who am I without all the masks that I've put on myself? Like, who do I desire to be, and what art do I wish to express in this world, and how can I make my life that? And that shifts over time, right? Like, who you become is who you're becoming. Like, it's a continuous journey, but oftentimes we dim it down because it's like, oh, I want to be seen, but I don't want to be like seen too much, or I don't want to give off the wrong image, or I don't want to, I want to paint my image because I've constructed this identity around this image, and I'm scared if that image is taken away from me, like, what do I then do with it? And so it's terrifying, and I get you, and that this is literally what we're walking through inside of the artist, because it can be one of these things that we just like clench onto and like hold really deeply onto, even though it's not serving us. And so when I got to this point, it was just like, okay, like, who do I want to be? And there are many different facets that were tried on at the time, different types of spiritual bypassing, health, physique wise, men, different kind of things, because you have to go on a self-experiment process being like, what do I want? And then realizing that none of it is true. All of these identities have been built up until we step aside and be like, who am I at my core? What does it mean? And what am I meant here to do? And how do I become this full force? And and like, too much might be different to someone else. Like, for me, I love it. Like, if you see the branding for the artist, it's like me and a white towel, red lipstick, diamond earrings, like the whole shebang, and my little tiny sunglasses, like, it's a vibe to me. And I know some people wouldn't like that, but like, I'm the type of mentor where, like, I love that. I love someone that's fully expressed in their womanhood, in their creativity. I have a full core belief in my soul that, like, every day is like Halloween, and we get to dress up and be who we want to be. And it's this like fun little playground of like, who do I want to be today? And we get to go out. And I remember being a kid, not understanding that, the depths of my emotions that I do feel. Like, I get you guys usually see my quirky side and my fun side and my like high vibe, but you also see my sad side, like I very much show that with you guys. And it's this fear that we have, like, someone will judge me if I'm not high vibe, or someone will judge me if I'm too much, if I'm prancing around in red lipstick and diamond earrings and robes and half naked, like, whatever, someone will judge me. And maybe, I found out my dad's wife, like, they're like sending photos or something back and forth between like what I do, being like, what is she doing? And like, most people that would cringe, right? But like, I've regulated my nervous system so much, where even this morning when I mentioned this on my mastermind call, I was like, I think I've made it. Like, I think I genuinely have made it in life. And like, it's the pillars of success and understanding what that means. And so looking at your life being like, what is the currency that you want to vibrate on? We all often get lost in like, the only currency is money, and that's what, well, if I have enough money, then I can claim my spot at the table, and I can activate my voice, and I can do this kind of thing. But currency is so many things. It's love, it's respect, it's energy, it's, vibrancy and radiance. Like, there's so many different pillars that we can play around with, and it's going to be different for everyone. Like, for me, my core one is energy, because I know the more me I am, the more aligned my life is, and the more of a difference I make, and the more money I make. Like, that's just, and the healthier I am. Like, it's my energy is a big thing. But for some people, I don't know, it's relationships or it's family. Like, we have different, you can think of it as your like value systems, like, what is your highest value, and within your journey of self and discovery and things of that nature. And so when you're looking at your life and thinking it's like, oh, I'm afraid of being too much, and I'm afraid of being seen, because of what? And that's our conditioning. And like, we have to give like gratitude, because that and that crunch that you feel when you feel like, I don't want to be seen like too much. Like, I want to be noticed and I want to be validated, but I don't want to be seen too much. Like, that is your nervous system being like, I'm going to protect you because this is our comfort zone. This is why we call it a comfort zone, right? So when we're looking at these things, give gratitude for your nervous system, and then just sit there and be like, oh, like that's where it is, and this is why it feels comfortable, because this is what I've always done, but I actually desire to make this impact, and I desire to be seen, and I desire to be that woman that walks in the room and radiates joy, and, you know, is the safest place for people to land, and like people want to talk to her and like figure out who she is and what she's doing in the world, and have this type of energy that we see women hold. I actually do desire that, even if I'm not an entrepreneur, but like I just want to have the confidence when I go out and I do something. That's our nervous system at play. That's how fucking cool our nervous system is, to like sit there and protect you and be like, hey, like this is, no, that doesn't seem safe for us, and like it does this thing, and it's like a protective bubble, and like that's amazing. And you get a choice to sit there and go, but I choose something else. I choose a different direction, because I actually, the blueprint that I have for my life and what I want to look back at when I'm 97 years old is different from what I'm doing now. So thank you, nervous system, for keeping me very, very safe and cozy, but I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Right? Like you guys have heard me speak about this a lot. We want to stretch the nervous system. We don't want to stress it. We don't want to like jump and throw ourselves off the deep end and be like, unless you're into that. But a lot of us, we want to inch it. Like, what is that 1% thing that we can start to inch ourselves towards to really stretch our nervous system, and then start to build this self-confidence and this self-awareness and become the artist of our lives? So it's a practice, but it's also like, I get you. Like it's scary to even be like I've been on calls in the VIP sessions that I've had, and people wanting to make movements, or people that are in the midst of wanting to make a pivot in their business, or people that are, you know, wanting to be seen more and speak more, and like, you know, I want the quantum leap in my business. I want to do these things, and that requires us to be seen in a little bit, and like activate our voice muscles and tell our stories with confidence, and like have this type of artistic expression in what our life is. And when we actually start to look at our life as an artistic expression, that gets to get easier. Like, why am I going through what I'm going through? So that I can tell a story later in life, whether it is, you know, in social media, or whether it's in your business, or whether it's to your kids. We're going through things for a certain pillar. So when we start to look at our life as a narrative in the making, what's the story we want to tell? How do I want to activate my voice? How do I want to start to show up? Is it a way that I can just start dressing in a way that makes me feel more confident? Can I start eating in a way that makes me feel more confident? Can I start surrounding myself with people that make me feel more confident? Can I start getting in the arena and learning from people that are doing what I want to do, so that I can actually become the version of myself that I want to be? That's the fucking artist. She knows she has to dismantle everything that has kept her safe, so that she can become this artistic expression, this creative expression of her life, that she looks back and she's like, oh my God, this is what I wanted. Like, it doesn't matter if you're 23, 43, 72. Like, I have worked with people on all walks of life that claim it as such. It's just when you claim it. It is never too late to step into your too muchness. People are waiting for that to come alive. Like, imagine that permission slips you write for other people. You might even be feeling that as you watch my content. The permission slips you write for other people when you show up in your authentic self and expression. Like, that's the permission slip people are waiting for. Like, seeing a fully expressed, authentic woman is so activating, and sometimes it triggers people in the wrong way, which is another fear we're going to be addressing in this masterclass. But seeing a woman that is authentically expressed, you can get activated by it. You know, we call it jealousy. I like to call it activation, because it's just a part of ourselves we haven't claimed yet. How magical to be that for someone. So, don't be afraid of your too muchness. It's exactly what people are fucking waiting for. I mean, if you're drawn to my content, you know that that's what it is. It's so fun. It's so self-expressed. It's so, like, you look back and your life is just this, like, playground of joy and relaxation and breath. And like, to think that a short 5-6 years ago, like, I only thought I could be doing hard drugs to ever feel a sense of high like this. Like, I want you to know it's possible. Your nervous system, it's not something you're stuck with. The way that you are is not something you're stuck with. It is plastic. It is moldable. Yes, if you choose not to change it and you choose to stay where you're at, of course we're stuck there. But your nervous system and your trauma responses and your limiting beliefs and your comfort zones and the way that you date and the way, you know, the people you surround yourself with and the food and the self-sabotage, like, simple as that. That's all just your nervous system protecting you because at some point there was something that was a threat, and therefore that was your coping mechanism. That is fixable. That is bendable. That is moldable. That is breakable. That is something we get to shift. We see it every day. I'm a walking example. My clients are walking examples. So if this is something you're interested in, like I said, we have the most banging celebration party. Like this, you've seen our quantum leaps, you've seen our pivot, you've seen the thing. I want to throw a fucking party with you there. The vibe right now in our world, the women and the quantum leaps and the shifts that you're doing, I want to share that with you. I want to share this energy with you because there's nothing more magnificent than throwing a party off of something that is already magnificent. Like a party thrown in the name of gratitude. That is what we're doing. That is what my mentor says. That is so fucking true. It's going to be free for the 8th and the 9th. And then we're going to have some follow-up party, some laser coaching, some one-on-ones available, some extra modules so that we can actually take the masterclass and actually integrate it personally into your life. So it's fine if you're just at the free stuff, like perfect. If you're new to our world, that is a perfect place to tap into. But if you've been curious about how to get into our world and start working with our world, that upgrade is where you want to tap in. And right now it's 50% off, but we're going to be upgrading that and shifting that price in the next 2 days. So I love you. You're fucking amazing. Own your too muchness. Be fully expressed. You are your brand. Claim it as such. What is 1% better that you can do today? I love you. Happy healing, and I will see you. Also, share this. We love it when we share things because that's how we get the word out. Invite your friends, invite everyone. Like, this is the party on the internet. You can stay in your pajamas and do amazing things from your home. So I love you. You're beautiful. Let's crush it today, and happy healings, my friends.